I've got this old copy of Volkswagen Trends. Let's see, it was the March 2000 issue. It's been so well loved, the cover is missing. Lois Grace wrote, maybe she still does, I can't find the magazine anymore. She always wrote these good little editorials, or her piece was called Volkswoman. She drives her dad's old double cab pickup. She wrote this one article that's so good I remembered it all these years, and I dug it out and I wanted to share it with you. She entitled it the Type II Mystique. What is it about Type IIs that grab us? Anyone who loves Volkswagens can tell you they have a favorite model. It might be a Beetle that gives them goosebumps, or a lovely Carmen Ghia, or a rare coach-built model. However, bus owners are a special group. You have to enjoy sitting behind the wheel and watching the pavement slip beneath you. You can't be spoiled by wimpy comforts like heat or air conditioning. In a bus, the air conditioning consists of 2 wide open windows and rarely an unclogged roof vent. I am told, because I live in California and I have no knowledge of this myself, believe me, it's true, that the heat is non-existent. It's also like the feel of a flat steering wheel, and you should be between 5'4" and 5'10", because anything different just can't sit comfortably in the non-adjustable seat. It is helpful to also enjoy the attention you and your old Type II will get, because you will get noticed, and not always in a good way. Just try climbing a hill with a row of Detroit gas guzzlers behind you. Sometimes the bus obsession becomes overwhelming. I fell in love with my one and only Type II during my childhood. I was 12 when my dad bought a 1959 single cab pickup, and from the first moment I laid eyes on it, I was a VW truck freak. At a time when my friends were lusting after cute little imports, I had the hots for an old, beat-up VW truck. Long before I could legally drive it, I'd often been behind the wheel of Dad's single cab on rutted dirt roads we called Vern roads. Yes, my truck has a name. All beloved VWs do. And he was christened Vernon. We traveled through my teens in typical nonconformist style, enjoying the fact that nothing else on the road looked as we did. Once I was driving Vern every day, legally this time, it wasn't long before I began to notice other Type IIs. In the late 60s and 70s, VW buses of every description were all over the place. It didn't matter to me whether it was a bus or a truck or a panel van. All of them had the same appeal: the face. They were all giant, benign friends, almost like pets. They became part of the family in a way that a mere automobile never had. No one cared that they had the aerodynamics of a small building. No one cared that they were so underpowered that icebergs probably moved faster. Folks that cared about things like acceleration and cornering didn't buy Type IIs and were immune to the Bus Mystique. Those of us who do own them knew that they were special. Then and now know the loyalty of a well-cared-for VW. Part of their almost cult-like appeal has to be due to their undying determination and affection for their owner. This trait seems peculiar to Volkswagens, because I have never had a single car of any other make try as hard to please me as my VWs do. Once a bus becomes yours, it will usually do its best not to let you down while on the road. It has been my experience that sometimes it will actually save a breakdown until you are nearly home or in the driveway. They seem to try to plan the best possible place and time for their failure. What bus nut among us has not driven without a clutch, or maybe a throttle linkage, or brakes? You and your Type II will not be out of action for long if you carry these three things with you. Something sharp, something pointy, and something sticky. One of these should get you out of just about any bind, even if only temporarily. I have loved VWs for so long I honestly don't remember any other way of life. And now that I've been in this hobby for a while, I'm drawn to any Type II, not just my own. I think it must be due to the fact that mine isn't the only special one. They're all special. For Type II lovers, they all reach out to us, call to us, stare unblinkingly at us through those big puppy eyes, and we respond. I stare back. I admire the smooth, sleek lines. I stick my head in the window and breathe that strange, VW-only smell. And yes, I talk to them, but don't tell anybody. I love them all. I think that possibly the single most endearing thing about a Type II is that they love back. Life just doesn't get much better than that. Lois Grace.